While the world waited for a flashy BRICS coin, Russia and China quietly pulled the trigger. Crypto oil trades, digital yuan pipelines, and now Saudi Arabia is in the driver's seat, the petrodollar swerving toward obsolescence. This isn't a warning, it's already happening. And the silence? That's the sound of the dollar losing ground. Here are 5 seismic shifts reshaping global trade before our eyes. Number 1. Whispers turned engines. Crypto fueling real-world energy deals. It all started quietly, but by March 20th, 25, the engine roared to life. According to Reuters, Russia officially began settling oil and gas sales with India and China using cryptocurrency. No hypotheticals, no white papers, just real energy. Moving through digital rails. Forget SWIFT, we're talking blockchain-based payments with no US dollar middlemen. And this isn't some SI-fi future, it's happening now. China's CNY, its digital yuan, is already running through Belt and Road pilot corridors. Meanwhile, Russia's digital ruble has completed cross-border tests and is handling trade in actual pipelines and LNG shipments. Even more jaw-dropping, over 80% of trade between China and Russia is now settled in their own currencies, yuan and rubles for car lovers. Think of it like switching from a legacy internal combustion drivetrain to a high-efficiency electric motor. Overnight, the entire payment system just got rebuilt under the hood, and it's faster, cheaper, and tuned for multipolar use. What enabled it? Smart contracts, real-time value transfer, and most importantly, mutual need. When speed and control beat tradition, even the most hardened systems evolve. But crypto fuel isn't the only upgrade on this track. There's now an entire digital rail system backing it up. Number 2, digital rails over dollar roads, the rise of BRICS Pay, and the M-Bridge grid. Behind those crypto settlements is a sophisticated cross-border setup like a digital transmission system, smoothing out gear changes across currencies. Enter BRICS Pay, a decentralized financial messaging network meant to rival SWIFT. It's been in the works since 2018 and is now live in pilot projects across South Africa, Egypt, and beyond. Think of it as a peer-to-peer payment router that doesn't require the dollar to change lanes. Even more game-changing is M-Bridge, also called the BRICS Bridge, a blockchain-backed settlement system connecting national digital currencies. But here's the kicker, there's no central BRICS coin. Each country keeps its own digital currency but links into a shared highway for seamless real-time transfers. And Saudi Arabia, they just joined M-Bridge as a full member, adding serious octane to the project. That means oil deals. The very foundation of the petrodollar can now be done digitally, securely, and without touching US financial infrastructure. Picture a hybrid powertrain for the global economy, decentralized, efficient, and no longer dependent on one fuel source. Before we dive further, hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us keep your engines revved with timely updates right here with the rails laid down. Let's see how many countries are jumping aboard. Number 3, global gears engage, BRICS Plus, and the surge of real-world adoption. A good chassis needs traction, and BRICS is getting just that with its expanded club now including Egypt, UAE, Indonesia, Iran, and Saudi Arabia. The group is fast becoming a global financial pit crew, wiring together new rails at record pace. This isn't theory. Countries from Brazil to Thailand are already testing real-time local currency payments. The ASEAN bloc, inspired by China's digital corridors, is building its own regional payment highways. Brazil, during its BRICS presidency, abandoned the dream of one big BRICS currency and instead turbocharged national solutions like PIX in South America's Zona. Small, why? Because decentralized systems offer faster, cheaper payments without the friction of ethics fees and dollar dependency. Here's a surprise twist. Even Western players are dipping. In France settled a 2023 LNG deal with China in yuan, the IMF. They've officially acknowledged that multi-currency sea corridors are the new reality. The BRICS Plus expansion isn't just a new badge, it's a working drivetrain of local currencies pulling real weight in global trade. So what makes all this more than just fast? Number 4, why it matters, speed, sovereignty, sanctions proofing. Let's talk. Not in engines, but in money movement. What Russia, China, and their BRICS allies are building is pure performance. Real-time financial infrastructure that eliminates sluggish clearance systems, reduces transaction costs, and tosses out the need for US-controlled correspondent banks. We're talking about payments speeds that make overnight wire transfers feel like a horse and carriage. With digital currencies riding on blockchain, rails were down to minutes, sometimes even seconds. But here's the geopolitical kicker. These rails aren't just fast, they're sanctions resistant. No SWIFT, no problem, no US intermediary. Exactly the point. And now that M-Bridge supports Ethereum virtual machine, EVM tooling, smart contracts aren't just theory, they're active tools. Imagine programmable payments, cross-border compliance baked into the code, and automated trade escrow. This is structural sovereignty by design, not accident. If you're a Piston Pundit viewer who understands engine control unit's excuse, think of this shift like decentralizing that stew away from the automaker's locked system. More control, more autonomy. Same performance, just now under your terms. Now let's wrap it all up with what this silent upgrade means for the road ahead. Number 5, a silent revolution. Rebalancing, not rebellion. No fireworks, no red carpet revolution. Just a quiet, systematic update unfolding across continents. Despite the noise, central banks still hold dollar-heavy reserves. SWIFT still exists. But behind the dashboard, the wiring is changing. Trade lanes, especially in energy, commodities, and even consumer goods, are now wired for multi-currency capability. The US dollar hasn't collapsed, but it's no longer the only road worth driving. Brazil made it clear during its 2025 BRICS presidency, there's no push for a universal BRICS coin, just a frictionless framework connecting national systems. The focus is usability, not ideology. Even the IMF has weighed in, confirming in April that multipolar currency corridors are here to stay. Meanwhile, US policymakers, especially under Trump's new tariff threats, may posture against BRICS economic subversion. But while Washington debates markets move, trade routes adapt. In short, it's not rebellion, it's rebalancing. And it's being installed globally like a stealth firmware update. Invisible, gradual, but transformative. Verdict: the shift no one can unplug. What Russia and China have triggered isn't a flashy coup. It's a quiet, calculated retrofit of global finance. Like upgrading to a smarter transmission without swapping out the entire drivetrain. This isn't about dethroning the dollar overnight. It's about creating alternatives. And with Saudi Arabia backing digital UN oil deals, those alternatives are gaining serious traction. Global finance is entering a hybrid era, decentralized, programmable, and no longer dependent on a single lane. BRICS isn't building a trophy coin. They're paving multi-currency highways that run parallel to the dollar, not behind it. Before we downshift, let us ask, is this the beginning of the dollar slow fade or just a diversification of power? Can US automakers stay globally competitive if trade moves off dollar? Who gains and who loses? As BRICS builds its financial freeway, please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We love to hear from you. For the latest updates on the automotive world and more in-depth analysis, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching and see you next time. You can now check out any of the videos on the screen. There's plenty more to explore.